Hello everyone and welcome to BI Kelsey's new Analyst Brief series. I'm Mike Boland and I'm an analyst with BI Kelsey. So the goal of this video series is to break down complicated subjects or emerging areas of media and technology in under 5 minutes. So today we'll be covering how social is evolving into more of a commerce-enabled direct response medium. So for example, in the past 4 months alone, we've seen several popular social platforms launch buy buttons within their feed-based interfaces. And that includes Pinterest and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And as each of these all kind of graduate from different stages of what I like to call their adolescent growth periods, they're really moving into maturity and developing more discernible revenue models. And instead of simply slapping banner ads on the experience, they're taking more of a native approach by infusing commerce into the experience. And the name of the game is really integrating these commerce functions and other forms of monetization in ways that still tasteful and maintains the appeal of the social experience that users have come to expect. And it goes beyond just buy buttons. It's really moving into areas that are more relevant for local. So for example, Facebook has launched a call button which lets users call advertisers directly from their newsfeed ads. And this will be relevant for lots of high-value categories of local business and has impacted our projections for call volume growth, as we wrote about recently. Now, Google is also launching scheduling tools to book appointments within local home services professionals right within the search results. So when you boil all of this down, whether these applications are directly local or not, the common thread here is that these commerce tools are really built with mobile in mind, in that they reduce friction for smaller screen experiences. There's less clicking through to several websites, in that the functionality to check out or call a business or book an appointment is embedded right within the screen you're already on. So one example of how this is all playing out just happened last week. Facebook revamped its business pages to be more commerce-enabled and easier for customers to transact. That includes navigation tabs right to commerce-oriented functions like contact the business or view products or a menu. These are functions that were previously scattered and buried further down the page. So why did Facebook do this? As a quick background, Facebook announced that the number of business pages it now has is up to 45 million globally, and most of those are SMBs. And this really aligns with BI Kelsey Local Commerce Monitor data that show Facebook pages as the top marketing vehicle for SMBs. So with that trend, one of Facebook's goals is to have pages be a place that substitutes SMBs' need for an app or a website. In fact, the direct quote from Sheryl Sandberg at last week's launch event was, "Be where your customers are already spending their time." So winding down here, the last thing I'm going to go over today ties in with pages, but is kind of a wild card in all of this, which is messaging. And with all of the commerce functionality that I just went over in the newsfeed and buy buttons and Facebook pages, one of the social channels where commerce could be housed is messaging apps. And this is all happening with the overall rise in messaging apps as a new platform for a wide range of functionality, not just messaging with your friends and sharing multimedia, but actually finding things locally. So it's a real utility. And that can include messaging directly with SMBs, for example. And the leading indicator for this trend is seen in a lot of Asian markets where companies like WeChat and others are doing just this. And in the US, we see this beginning to happen with Facebook Messenger and others. So this is really worth watching closely. So the takeaways from all of this is that local businesses, instead of or in addition to building their own apps and websites, simply need to become present in these social platforms. And this can let them unlock lots of customer engagement opportunities and commerce in the app-based venues that those things are increasingly happening. So there's of course a lot more to it, but that's the quick version, and we'll have a lot more detail in upcoming writings and conferences. So this has been a BI Kelsey Analyst Brief. I'm Mike Boland. Thanks for listening.